Well, we're all a little beaten up this week. We're all quite tired, but at least it's not this.
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
I couldn't resist it.
I know.
Let's go.
I can't do it. We'll do it live. Do it live! I'll write it and we'll do it live!
Mister, will you please wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up?
Good morning. Snowman here to all you Brock Purdy and San Francisco 49er haters. Shut up! I gotta thank you, Shane.
I mean, whatever happened to the games where breaking 100 points was, I don't know, unusual?
There was one word to sum up the All-Star weekend.
Trays. Cause we take this job so serious.
Splash Brothers, yes. Ray Allen, replace him with Steve Kerr. Reggie Miller, yeah.
What in the all types of blue hell?
Oh yeah!
You just wrong.
I didn't do it. Our fabulous executive producer did it.
You the one that hit the button, so you wrong.
No, I'm not, because that's part of it. Good morning. Welcome to the tripped out Thursday edition of Snowman in the Morning.
Can't even get through an intro without laughing. This part is brought to you by...
This portion is brought to you by SeatGeek. NFL is here, NHL and NBA are both on the way, and you want to attend some games, don't you? Of course you do.
Not the NBA Cup, though.
No, hell no, not the NBA Cup. But you want to attend some NBA games. What you do is you go to SeatGeek.com, use the code Snowman Multimedia, and you get $20 off of your first purchase. That's only with the power of SeatGeek, where fans can fan.
And we have got a lot to fan about today.
Chris Simpson will join us during hour one as I get my legs situated because I got to follow doctor's orders and keep them elevated. Chris Simpson will join us during hour one. Chris DIETZ will join us during hour two. And I'm going to try to figure out an intro for Chris in the next 20 minutes. I don't know how I'm going to do it. I don't know where I'm going to do it, but I'm going to figure it out. Speaking of figure things out, this is the Whip Around presented by Fanatics. And we start in Connecticut, where the fabulous rookie year of Caitlin Clark has come to an end as the Connecticut Sun defeat the Indiana Fever in 2 straight games. The final last night, 87-81, putting an end to the fabulous rookie campaign of the unanimous Rookie of the Year in Caitlin Clark. Man, I was so looking forward to them pulling the upset.
Yeah, but the Connecticut Sun were just way too strong.
And better.
Yep.
And stronger.
Deeper bench.
deeper
More experience.
team.
The whole 9 yards.
Yeah, the experience factor really got Connecticut through the second game, because Indiana was right there. Indiana was right there. They were tied with less than 2 minutes to go, but then Connecticut finished the game with a 9-2 run, which put the game out of reach. And I expect that Caitlin Clark and the Fever will only get better next year. So congratulations to the Fever on your playoff appearance. May there be many more in the career of Caitlin Clark. Speaking of point guards, anybody remember the name Derrick Rose? Well, Derrick Rose, after 15 seasons, had decided to call it a career. The former #1 overall pick announced his retirement this morning. So congratulations to you, D Rose, on a fabulous career. And man, I'm looking forward to your retirement, looking forward to looking back at some highlights, which we'll do later this morning. And just congratulations to you, and thank you for allowing me and my crew to call your games for the years where you were at Simeon Academy, and just giving us all a fabulous time on what point guard play, old school point guard play, should be. I just wish that the injuries didn't take a hold of you the way that it did in 2012, because I believe had you stayed healthy in 2012, not only would the Bulls won the title, he would have ended his career in Chicago. But after 15 seasons, Derrick Rose, one of my favorite players of all time, has called it a career. And congratulations to you, Mr. Derrick Rose. The Dodgers are inching closer and closer to that #1 seed. They are in a fight with Philadelphia for that #1 seed. The magic number for Philadelphia to clinch a first-round bye is 3 to get that first-round bye, and 6 to get that #1 seed. We'll go over all the baseball standings after the break. And that's your Whip Around, presented by Fanatics. And I did all that improvisational-wise.
But you are right about one thing. If those injuries, especially the knees, didn't screw D Rose over, I tell you, things would have been different.
Well, we're going to have a lot of fun with the debate that we're going to have next segment. We're going to combine a segment between a talk about Derrick Rose and a little bit about baseball. And we're going to find out where the Royals stand in the playoff race. Shane Lake will have all of that. Droid will join us. And then later on today is our hockey preview. Where does your team stand in Droid's eyes?
Mine's in the basement, obviously.
We're going to have a lot of fun with that. So stick around. We're just getting started. Snowman in the morning, back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free, and we'll even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
Quinn,
Moment of clarity. I haven't watched BET in years.
KP,
Drake needs to come back with another triple platinum album.
E Digger,
and then you have Ray J. Like, I can't stand that River Cricket.
the Guru.
Okay, the level of crack she's smoking, I don't want it.
BS3 Network proudly presents the Knucklehead Chronicles podcast, where from card tips to hot topics to meep of the week, anything goes. Live every Sunday at 2:30 p.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels. Alicia.
You can't hold somebody to that standard if you haven't voiced what you want and what you're needing from that.
Mika.
If you're not communicating expectations, you're waiting for your feelings to be hurt.
Nicole.
A lot of people don't want to take the time out to be alone and to get themselves together.
Ivan.
You got to be willing to work through stuff. And from the jump street, y'all done had problems. Maybe you don't need to be working through those.
BS3 Network proudly presents Queen 3 and King podcast. Live every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Central.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
We are indeed back, and it is SIT morning is the ID that you need. Droid is now awake, and he has joined us. What's up, Droid?
He ain't awake yet. The hell you talking about? That ain't awake.
No, it is not. Did you just wake up, man?
Yep. That's why I usually have my alarm set for at least a half an hour before airtime.
I can't be doing alarms, dude, with how late I'm working.
What time did you get off work?
10.
Yikes. Which is 11 here, and that's about when I shut it down. Do you have to go far to get home?
No, it's like a 6-minute drive.
Okay. And you immediately went to bed, right?
No.
How did I know?
I was in too much pain, and I'm still in too much pain.
Why are you in pain?
Multiple 8-hour shifts back to back to back after not working for 2 years.
That would explain a lot. And I've been there. I've been there. Our feedback zone is presented by Fanatics, and it's RC who's the first chatter in. World of Women's Basketball. Might have to join that and do a lot for that. Beginning October 1st, Snowman in the Morning will be aired only on the Snowman in the Morning YouTube channel. So if you haven't subscribed yet, please do. Let me find this. Let me find this button here. It's way up here. I got too many buttons. Beginning October 1st, you can subscribe here. youtube.com/@SITmorning for exclusive content, interviews, and more. And the live show will be there beginning October 1st because we want to build that channel also, as Snowman Multimedia is transitioning into a play-by-play channel only. And that's due to the success, especially when we had the Big Ten Women's Championship back in. So that's why that transition is taking place. And Droid, my question to you, where are your Royals in terms of the playoff picture?
We're almost out of it at this point.
Oh no. Don't say that.
I'm saying that because all of our hitters in this final leg of the season are too inconsistent. Including Bobby Witt Jr. himself. He's been super inconsistent.
Yeah.
We can't hit a homer to save our lives.
Oh my gosh. That's bad. That's really bad. Oh my gosh.
Well, in all actuality, I'm looking things up right now. Between the Royals and the Mariners are 2.5 games. The Royals and Tigers are tied for wild card spots 2 and 3. The Twins and Mariners are both 2 and 2.5 back, respectively, with the final set of the season about to start for everybody.
And who plays where in that final set of the season?
Final set of the season starting today. The Royals are away facing the Washington Nationals. Brewers start a set with the Padres. Rays and Tigers are going at it. Angels, White Sox. Cardinals, Rockies finish theirs up today because the Rockies are going to be hosting the Los Angeles Dodgers for their final set.
Oh boy.
Angels and Athletics are going at it. Orioles and Yankees are going at it. Marlins and Twins. And, of course, the Dodgers finish off their homestand today against the Padres before traveling to Colorado. The final sets of the season start tomorrow with the Reds and Cubs, White Sox, Tigers. The Phillies are on the road to the Nationals. That is going to be decisive in the playoff race.
Yeah, it is.
Because
there's a number 1 bye and the number 1 seed hanging in the balance for Philadelphia.
And the Dodgers and Phillies are separated overall by a half a game, with the Phillies 1 down in the loss column.
Yeah, that race for the best record and the home field advantage throughout the playoffs is very important. Philadelphia, according to JJ, must win out to get that number 1 seed. The Dodgers have a little bit of a leeway, even with getting beat by the Padres.
Yeah, right now it would be based off of course, tiebreakers being, heads up battle and everything else. So yeah, it would be beneficial for Philly to win outright.
Yeah, Philly needs to win out. Philadelphia needs to win out.
The Royals have the Braves for a set. Mets and Brewers are going at it, and the reason I bring that up is because of the fact that there is still an outside shot of the Mets and Braves swapping in the postseason.
Oh, yikes.
Because right now, the Mets only have a 1-game advantage on the Braves, and that also goes for the Diamondbacks because that's wild card 2 and 3 in the National League.
Really?
Wild card 2 and 3 are the Mets and Diamondbacks. Braves are still in it by a game. And we won't know who gets those final 2 seeds
until the end of the season.
Until next Monday, because the Mets and Braves have a day-night double dip Monday, September 30th.
Oh boy. And
that could decide the National League wild card.
That will decide the National League wild card. That will decide a National League wild card spot. How about the American League? How about the race for the number 1 or 2 in the American League? How's that looking?
Yankees and Guardians are separated by a half a game. Yankees are up 1 in the loss column with 4 to go. As previously mentioned, they will be hosting the Pirates for the final set of the season, while the Guardians are hosting the basically confirmed Houston Astros at 3 seed.
So if the Astros win out,
they're basically locked in where they're at.
They're locked in at the number 3.
They're locked in at 3.
Okay, so they have to host a wild card series. All right,
they have to, but the thing about it is, they would get all 3 games at home.
They get 3 in Houston. That's all I need to know.
And they'd be facing the 6, which currently is sitting at Detroit. But again, that could change vastly this weekend.
Well, we will indeed have that wild card series on Snowman Multimedia. I've got everything organized. I am basically taking today to blow up my office after telling my wife I'd do it for days and days at a time, but I've been so tired I haven't had an opportunity to. I will do that today. I will get everything organized, and we will have that wild card series. Also, Saturday, we got a doozy with Georgia and Alabama on Snowman Multimedia through a Snowman's Eyes. 7:30 is your kickoff time. We'll be up at 7 with the pregame show. Where did Droid go?
Either wrong button or he's too tired and too sore. One of the two.
I wouldn't blame him. If he, I would. It's like you tell me all the time. If you can't do it, you can't do it, and I wouldn't blame him. You know. Oh, there he is. There he is. Did you push the wrong button?
Yes.
I thought so.
What the hell happened? What did I do?
That's what the Lakers fans are going to be saying this year when they're out of the playoffs again. What happened?
By March.
Oh no, they know what happened.
They know. Oh, they do. What happened?
LeBron. Anyways,
because as we all know,
yes, LeBron.
Wait. I didn't get the cue on time. Go.
Yes, LeBron. It is you. It has always been you. It will always be you forever and ever. Amen.
Amen.
This moment of bronze sexual stupidity is brought to you by Hooked on Bronix. When you start talking like an idiotic bronze sexual, Hooked on Bronix can set you right. Call 1-800-YOKAY. Real LJPM. Now approve all this.
Thank you for that bit of genius.
Gotta love the city feel.
I'm gonna convince him to bring that back for one episode.
Yes.
I found the original that he did last year.
Oh God.
I'm going to unleash that very soon. Let's pause. When y'all get back, a short discussion on Derrick Rose, and then Chris Simpson will join us at the bottom of the hour to talk some football. Thursday night football tonight. Dear God in heaven.
Back in a deuce.
You already know who I'm picking.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
Yeah, we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Chris Simpson's on the way in 7 minutes time, and we go back to the feedback zone as Chris Dietz, who will join us during hour 2, says, got y'all beat, work till 4 a.m. Yikes. Victor Locke joins us from Chicago, says, good morning, gents. And he also says, please don't beat me up already. I got one more day in the office, and I'd rather not work with bruised ribs. We haven't bruised your ribs yet.
Don't worry, Vic. I'm going to be taking all the ass whooping tomorrow.
No, you're not.
Yeah,
No,
I
we
know how it's going to go.
Bud.
I know exactly how tomorrow's going to go. It's going to be a 2-hour roast, funeral, and wake of me.
But you're still sitting here, but you're still alive.
Right? I said tomorrow, not today.
And I repeat my sentence or sentences. You're still here. Hell, I got roasted when I turned 50 by my children.
You know, for some crazy reason, they ain't pulled the card yet because they want me to suffer more on Sunday.
You ain't gonna suffer on Sunday. You're gonna have too much fun.
You think me calling the massacre of my Patriots is gonna be fun?
Actually, yes. And I have 2 reasons.
Being?
1, you're gonna be full of medicine. And 2, you're probably, if I know you well enough, gonna be full of liquor. Find the lie. I've hung out with you enough during the evening to know when you're full of liquor.
I got nothing. I got nothing.
Matter of fact, it wasn't a game I was calling, but it was a few NBA games I was keeping an eye on in 2016 when I was living in LaPorte, Indiana. This is before I moved to Jasper. And old Shaner found out I was on air, and he joined me from the bar.
It was a slow night. It was a slow night. I was working, had nothing else going on.
I know.
Thankfully, we had a live hookup with the computer in the DJ booth. I was like,
right,
whatever.
I was keeping an eye on the Warriors getting that number 1 seed and doing a live scoreboard, and I see Shane pop in, and he immediately says, "Forgive me in advance." I'm like, why? And all he says is, "I'm at the bar." Oh dear.
Slow night. I was working. There's nothing really going on, and it's like, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And the DJ let you get on the computer.
I was the DJ that night.
What exactly did you have that night?
2 Blue Hawaiians, a Grateful Dead, and a couple of Fast and Furious.
I think it was after the Blue Hawaiians where you popped on.
Yeah, it was short. Yeah, it was shortly into the night that I popped in.
Yep. It was after the Blue Hawaiians that you popped on.
Yep.
Frightened the daylights out of me. Frightened the daylights out of me.
That was still a fun night.
Oh yeah, it was. I was up till what, 2 a.m.?
Yeah, because I
was
locked
up
up
to
shop at like 1 and you were still going.
Yep. I was still doing scoreboard up. I was only doing scoreboard updates at the time. I wasn't doing a full show like I am now. So we have reached the bottom of the first hour, and I have a treat for you. Chris Simpson now joins us for Simpson's Football Talk. Good morning, my friend. How are you?
I'm doing good. How you guys doing? As always, thank you for having me.
Hey, thanks for coming on, and thanks for being ever so faithful, not just to me, but to Snowman Multimedia and Snowman in the Morning. It's great to have you weekly now.
Man, it's an honor. Thank you.
You know, Chris paid me the highest compliment when he told me that it's an honor working for a legend. And I got to tell you, when I read that and my wife read it, she just massaged my shoulders, smiled, and walked away. And I'm just sitting here with a 2-foot smile on my face. So, man, you do me much honor. Thank you.
Nah, thank you. Absolutely. It's only the truth.
All right. Game to watch tonight. It's the Dallas Cowboys and the New York Football Giants. You know the records. I'm just going to give the floor to Chris and let him break this down.
Oh, that's what we're doing? Okay.
To start, yes.
I'm already sick of hearing about the Cowboys. So
listen. You know, Dallas has been beat up the last 2 weeks. You saw what the Saints did to them.
Mm-hmm.
They did it with passing the ball, but look at Alvin Kamara had a great game, and then last week against Baltimore, Derrick Henry. I have a rule: you better have game if you have 2 first names. It's only right. And Derrick Henry came in and just wore the Cowboys down. Now Baltimore got a little complacent and a little trigger happy at the end. I'll say that much. However, Dallas is coming in off a short week, and they're beat up.
Yes.
But, you know, I look at the Giants, and, you know, the Giants did what they had to do against Cleveland, got to Deshaun Watson 8 times, got a running game going. And this was Malik Neighbors' coming out party. He came out, tore up that Cleveland secondary. So I'm curious to see how he builds off that first game tonight, and can the Giants continuously get him into a rhythm. But here's the thing, Brian. Dak Prescott always seems to ascend to higher levels when he plays the Giants. This is a la Tom Brady playing the Buffalo Bills. This is Josh Allen against the Miami Dolphins. This is Aaron Rodgers against the Chicago Bears. Dak Prescott has a really good record against the Giants, and I think the Giants keep it close. But I think Dallas gets back on the winning side of things tonight. I like the Cowboys.
All right, may as well make our pick now. Shane, go for it.
Well, officially speaking, it's an over-under at 45, and Dallas is favored by 6.
Mm-hmm.
I don't trust that worth a damn. I really don't. I'm sorry, I don't trust it. I truly do
I
not
don't
trust
either.
Dallas. I just
I
truly
don't
do not trust Dallas at 6 up. No. You know what? I'm taking the Giants in this one. It's home field. Dallas is on a short week. They're hurting. I got a feeling it will be close, but it's going to go in favor of the G-men.
Yeah, I have the Giants too. No, it's like you said, coming off of the Cowboys are beat up. They're coming off of a very short week, and I just can't see 40-0 like I did last year. And Chris Dietz, who will join us during hour 2, says, "Game to watch. Are you serious?" No, I'm not serious. You should know, Dietz. You should know me by now. He says I'm a Cowboys fan, and I don't even want to watch. That's how bad it. How bad is it in Dallas right now?
I mean, here's the thing with the Cowboys. They win one game, and then everything just seems to go down the garbage disposal when they lose. I mean,
they win one game, they're on top of the world, and next thing you know, we're going to the Super Bowl. You guys are 1-15. No, you're not.
A perfect example of this was last year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they got into a rhythm toward the end of the year. They beat up on Philly on a Sunday night in Arlington, and then a week later against Buffalo. Buffalo ran the football down their throat until
sure did.
They tried to stop it, and they couldn't. Yeah, that's the thing about the Cowboys. With me in Dallas, it just seems like they're okay with just being relevant instead of winning.
Right.
Okay, look, we won 10 games. Cool, we got to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
There's our gold medal right there. Nah, it doesn't work that way. You know what happened to ascending now? You haven't won a Super Bowl. The last time the Cowboys won a Super Bowl, I think VHS was still relevant.
Yes, very much so, because we taped it in VHS.
Yeah, you said it.
My parents were on vacation, and we had the house to ourselves. I was also married at the time, and we all sat there and watched the game, taped it, thinking, you know, Pittsburgh was going to do something, and boy, were we ever wrong.
Absolutely.
And that's the last time the Cowboys were really relevant, because since then it has been down the tubes.
Yeah, I mean,
officially speaking, last time Dallas was in a Super Bowl was 1996.
Yep,
that's a long time.
Yep, Sun Devil Stadium, Tempe, Arizona.
That's a long time, my friends.
And y'all remember, that was Super Bowl 30, and y'all remember when the Cowboys were introduced, they walked out onto the field for the player introductions.
So, things have changed a lot since then.
Oh, yes, they have.
Things have changed a lot.
They have. All right, let's play 5 questions with Chris. Question 1.
Okay.
Biggest surprise so far in the NFL?
It's easily got to be the Minnesota Vikings. I mean, they're doing it on both sides of the football, controlling the line of scrimmage. But to me, it's been the bounce back of Sam Darnold. And sometimes it just takes one coach to really believe in you. You can't sit here and tell me he's not motivated. He heard the rumors about him being a bust. He'll never make it in the NFL. But Kevin O'Connell's a pretty good offensive-minded guy. I mean, you saw what he did with Cooper Kupp. You saw what he did with Justin Jefferson, and I think he's sprinkling on some of that magic with Sam Darnold. He's taking games over. But to me, the 2 MVPs of Minnesota have been Sam Darnold and Brian Flores, because Brian Flores is taking that defense, and look at what they did against CJ Stroud in Houston the other day. Sometimes they would rush 3, keep a spy in the middle, drop everybody back, rush 4, but they're doing it without blitzing. They're all swarming to the ball. They're playing collectively as a unit. So it's definitely Minnesota.
All right. Biggest disappointment so far?
Ah, man. I mean, I'd be lying to you if I didn't say it was the Cincinnati Bengals. This was a team that was just in a Super Bowl a couple of years ago, but they have distractions upon distractions. You can't sit here and tell me that this Jamar Chase thing is a lot more of a distraction than they wanted it to be.
Absolutely right.
They missed Joe Mixon because he brought balance, a quiet balance to the offense, and defensively they're not as consistent as I thought they were. They were able to get to AFC championships. They were able to get to that Super Bowl because they did it with defense. They were rushing 3 and playing man coverage on the outside, and you know how difficult that is. And I'll also say this: Joe Burrow, to me, is the quarterback that many people label Lamar Jackson as. Lamar's a little bit more dependable, and he's a little bit more available than Joe has been.
True, very true. I mean, this, especially the Monday night game. Look at the Monday night game against Washington, and it just seemed like Cincinnati just couldn't keep up with them.
Okay, I'll say this: I agree with you to a certain extent. However, I don't think you can put that blame on Joe Burrow because the last time I checked, Joe doesn't play defense.
True. Very, very true. Can't put the blame on Joe on that because the defense just kept giving up points.
Exactly.
They just kept giving up points. Lots of them, 38 of them to be exact. To that defense is going to get really taxed this year.
Couldn't agree with you anymore.
That team's going to get really taxed this year.
Yep.
1-2 team that has a chance to bounce back and right the ship.
I'll say Baltimore. And the reason why I say them, they have the reigning MVP. You have a former offensive player of the year in the backfield. And defensively, they're going to get back to it. Whenever you think of Baltimore Ravens football, they run the ball, they want to wear you down, and they play a physical brand of football. I think they were able to get back to that. I think John Harbaugh is one of the best coaches in the league. They're always going to have an elite defense. They're going to get back to wearing teams down, and they have a test on Sunday night. Buffalo is coming to town.
Yep. I'll answer that question, and I'm going to be a way big bit of a homer, but I think, though, a 1-2 team that has a chance to right the ship and get back to where they are.
I know where you're going.
Is going to be San Francisco.
I can see that.
Because they're just, it's injuries. And during the Kyle Shanahan era, every time San Francisco's been littered with injuries, they've had a horrible season. But with these injuries, Deebo Samuel's going to be back. George Kittle, I believe, will be back this week. I had to check the injury report. But they really miss Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, because he puts a defense on their toes. You don't know if you have to account for him as a runner or a receiver. He is the closest thing I've seen to LaDainian Tomlinson. Because he can impact the game in so many ways. He can bounce outside. He could run in between the tackles. You can line him up against a linebacker. I don't think there's any secondary guy that can cover Christian McCaffrey just because of how fluid he is in the open field.
Can Jordan Mason be that piece if they get him in the passing offense?
He could, but to me, he's more of a between the numbers type of guy, between the tackles where he wants to run the football. And I've always been a firm believer in saying, cater to a guy's skill set. Look, why do you think New England was so successful under Belichick and Brady so much? Because they would get guys that said, hey, look, we're going to coach you to within your means. So if you're not a guy that can take the top off the zone or take the top off coverage, we're going to work you underneath, and you're going to find the best possible mismatch. We're going to coach you to your strengths. And I think that's what the 49ers need to do with Jordan.
Yeah, they're having him run the ball a lot. And I love seeing that. He gets at least 20 carries a game, or he's gotten at least 20 carries a game. And they're catering, like you said, to his strength. So they're running the daylights out of him. And I think Mason is enjoying it.
I do too. Because look, you remember I called that first game of the year for the Jets and 49ers. I called that game, and just seeing how they were able to wear down the Jets with Jordan. Number one, I think the Jets were expecting Christian McCaffrey to play. So Jordan and the 49ers kind of had the edge on them. Like, oh, okay, we can run it. They don't know what to do with it. They're going to have to adjust during the game. We all know in-game adjustments and having to adjust on the fly can be challenging for a couple of teams.
Yep. Very true. Very, very true. All right. Game of the week.
Man, for me, I mean, there's two of them that are catching my eye. There's one in college. I mean, I'd be crazy if I didn't mention Georgia and Alabama.
Yes.
I mean, look.
Yes.
Listen, Brian. We talk all the time off the microphone, and I remember when the schedules came out, we spoke about this. I'm like, week 5.
Yeah, we did. We did. That was the first game you and I talked about when the schedules came out off the air. See, Chris and I have been close for many years now, and Chris would always come to me and would say, "Snowman, this is the game of the week," or he'd come to me next week. "This is the game of the week." Now that I have him on each week, he can tell me what the game of the week is.
Yeah, but Georgia, listen,
Georgia and Bama.
With Georgia and Bama, to me, the bye week couldn't have come at a better time for Georgia because they did not look good against Kentucky. They did not look good. And, I like what I'm seeing from Alabama due to the simple fact Kalen DeBoer's come in and he's letting Jalen Milroe spread his wings. He's saying, look, do what you do, and I'll sprinkle in my suggestions here and there. I'm not going to change your game completely because how you're playing is winning us football games. But this is going to be a test. This is a chance for Kalen DeBoer to get that signature win. I can't wait to get my hands on that, the dailyblitz.blog. That's the website. I thought I'd just plug it right then and there. So be on the lookout for that preview. And then the other one, I'm looking at the Bills and the Ravens. Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson, and Bryant. I am loving what I'm seeing from the Buffalo Bills because they're playing with balance. And again, you and I talk all the time. And what have I told you about Buffalo? Run the football. Stop playing hero ball with Josh Allen because it'll get you in trouble. Baltimore, I want to see how they come out after finally winning their first game. To me, this game comes down to which quarterback can play hero ball the least. And, Derrick Henry, I can see having another big game in this one on Sunday night. And this Buffalo defense, I want to see what they do against Derrick Henry. And Josh Allen's taking great care of the ball so far.
You just said the number one thing that Josh Allen has improved, finally, taking care of the football.
Absolutely.
And I'll tell you a low-key matchup that I'm liking, a surprise game, 3-0 Pittsburgh at 1-2 Indianapolis. I'll have the call for that game on Sunday afternoon, and I might ask you to join me for the pregame show, but
let me know.
There's a surprise. I think there's a surprise waiting for Pittsburgh and Indianapolis.
Okay, how so? Let me hear it.
Somehow, I think AR5 is going to figure out that he doesn't need to play hero ball. We just spoke about it a moment ago. True. AR5 doesn't need to play hero ball. The defense rescued him on Sunday. Yes, the defense rescued him for his 2 mistakes because the Colts took it away twice, so that evened out. But that defense of the Colts is starting to figure it out and starting to figure out how to get pressure on the quarterback. They got to Caleb Williams 6 times on Sunday, and they're getting stronger as the game gets longer. That Indy defense is going to keep the Steelers under control.
I want to see, number one, I love what I'm seeing from Justin Fields. Like I said about Sam Darnold, again, it just takes coaching. And it makes you think, was Justin Fields really the problem with the Chicago Bears? You see what I'm saying? Yeah. Look, Brian. Look, Brian is saying. I say this: the best way for the Colts to win this game is a lot, and I mean a lot, of Jonathan Taylor. Because what's the best way to attack a stingy defense? You run it right at it.
Run it right at him.
Or you beat them with the quick passing game, and you make those defensive linemen go from sideline to sideline. Yep. That game might be closer than I think a lot of people expect it to be, and I know you'll be on the call for that game, so I'm excited to hear you when you do that. But, this is almost going to be like a mini home game for the Pittsburgh Steelers because Steelers fans travel. Oh, my God.
When I did the game last year, with the Colts and the Steelers fans traveled well, but the Colts fans showed out.
I believe it.
The Colts fans showed out, and I'm looking to get Matt Taylor, the voice of the Colts, on the show for a preview of that game. That's Chris Simpson joining us for Simpson's Football Chatter. You can hear and see him. You can hear him each and every week every Thursday here on Snowman in the Morning, giving us his best takes, his best games, and his best previews. My brother, I love you very much. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it.
Thanks, guys. We'll do it again next week. Have a great rest of the show.
We would do it again next week. Thank you, sir.
My man.
Snowman, the odds makers actually have the Pittsburgh Indy game, with Pittsburgh only favored by 1.5. So they are thinking that's going to be close.
Tomorrow, we will not do our picks during the show. We will do them at 4 p.m. Eastern as an extension, because I have a special guest picker who will join us from the West Coast.
You're going to keep me busy on my birthday. You know this, right?
You darn tootin' I am. Oh, shut up. You enjoy it and you know it.
Yeah, so I guess my picks don't matter on the Dallas Giants game.
Well, who'd you have?
Giants.
No.
No?
You're actually taking Dallas in this one?
Victor's going to love me and hate me for this.
Okay.
This ought to be.
Ain't nobody calling me.
Shut up!
Texting me, hating me, asking me, are we still on board?
Man, shut up with that crap.
I'm taking Dallas to cover and win.
I'm taking the Giants. What's the spread anyway? Dallas by 6?
Dallas 6 over under 45.
I'm taking the Giants and I'm taking the points. Hell with it.
Well, yeah, the Giants win. Of course the Giants cover.
Yep. I'm taking the points and I'm taking the Giants. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. And I'll sit here and I'll say I'm wrong. I've had to do it many times in 11 years.
And you've had to do it a lot recently with my Hail Mary picks.
Very much so.
Because I've made the most Hail Mary picks this season and I've been right.
Mm-hmm. Especially with Carolina. How the hell did you call that one?
I said it was a joke pick.
Yes.
And I stand by the fact that it was a joke pick.
And somehow a joke pick actually turned out. Go figure.
I actually only picked Carolina because you know how much I hate Vegas.
Yes, I do. Victor says, "Really, Joy? Thanks for the pick. Did we really need Tam? No,
we don't need Tam. We don't want Tam. We don't. We don't need anything dealing with him.
Oh, you don't, eh?
No, we don't."
This has been yet another Beating a Dead Horse presentation.
Pretty. No!
Ain't nobody.
Victor, I tried to save you.
Paging me, asking.
Get out of here! I tried saving you, Victor. I tried.
You ain't saving anything. Just like how Jeremy Swayman couldn't save your Bruins.
Are we really going into halftime with these shots being fired?
Yes.
I mean, we got Dietz on the way. Come on.
Dietz at the bottom of our...
Since Snowman can't complete his sentence, we got Dietz coming in at the bottom of our 2. And don't forget...
Hey, look, Dietz is already firing shots. And I can't do anything about it.
And don't forget, Snowman in the Morning will be in Chicago, October 22nd and 23rd, I believe.
Mm-hmm. We will indeed be
live from Chicago, where he will be calling an NHL game, too.
I will indeed.
And don't forget, use code SITM Morning when you purchase SeatGeek tickets. As the NHL season is approaching, your team is going to be desperate for attention. So don't forget to use code SITM Morning for 10% off your SeatGeek purchase. And if you want to help out the show, use that little cash tag down at the bottom, Tall Man Dr. K50.
Someone asked me why I chose that tag. It's pretty simple. Because at the time that I put it together, Jody and I both turned 50. So that's why I use the tag. Let's take a break. We're going into halftime, man. When y'all get back, it's a potluck segment. Oh, good Lord. Snowman in the morning, back in a flash.
This is Snowman in the morning.
Whether it's the men's college game,
The way that this season has been going, yeah, anything is possible.
the women's college game,
And how passionate Angel Reese was at that press conference, they got their mojo now.
the WNBA,
AJ Wilson on Twitter 1 and 2, followed by Brittany Griner, Aaliyah Boston, Jackie Young,
or the NBA.
The Lakers had a 0.8 chance of winning. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? LeBron James by himself outdid the Clippers.
You will get any and all of the information right at your fingertips or your earlobes. Join the Playmaker as he breaks down all things basketball in Shooting Lights Out on the Playmakers blog, network, YouTube channel, and where you can find podcasts.
I want to do a TED Talk, but I don't have anything to talk about yet. I'm getting there.
Life is for the living. We're not here that long.
You can learn anything you want to learn without any money spent.
What do I really enjoy? What do I really want out of life?
I am your host, WIZE.
Are you in a life holding pattern? Well, this is for you. Welcome to the Stuck in My Mind podcast. Live every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday at 4 p.m. Central. Join the transporter to Hades.
Your butt and gut becomes one.
Join the reformer of hooker whores.
This is my daughter, Placenta Booty Johnson.
Join the bronze car.
Whenever you are in distress, take off your baseball cap and throw it in the air.
Join your very own superhero of broadcasting, Chris Bass.
So whatever color crayon they get, they palm it and do 2 circles, and that translates to, I can beat up black people.
As she takes you through the week's paces in Baseline. Live every Saturday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central, No, Pacific Time Zone people, just stay asleep when this is on live and just catch the recording. Oh, I'm sorry. Exclusively on the Chris Bass YouTube channel.
Here's an important message from the Diabetes Solution Center. Do you like pricking your fingers to test your blood sugar levels? No one does, but it's important to maintain your health. And now, by wearing a small remote device called a continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, you don't need to prick your fingers anymore. It's easy to use and helps you make more accurate diabetes treatment decisions. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now. And if you have Medicare or most major insurance coverage, you may be able to get a new CGM at little to no out-of-pocket cost. Shipping is free and will even bill your insurance company for you. If you are testing your blood sugar 3 or more times daily, injecting insulin, or using an insulin pump, call the Diabetes Solution Center right now to learn how to end the painful finger sticks and get your own continuous glucose monitor, or CGM, at little to no out-of-pocket cost.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony, or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete.
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Do I dare ask what is going on? 2 past the hour here on hour 2 of Snowman in the morning, and Ryan has been broken.
No, not yet. But I will be at the bottom of the hour when Dietz shows up. I already know it. To the Fanatics feedback zone we go. Victor says shooting 3-pointers instead of throwing touchdowns.
Shut up!
That broke me.
I saw that.
Real Sportscast says, damn. And he says, damn yet again. Even the big dog gets in on the fun. Just wait till tomorrow, everyone. I'm going to be on the firing line all show long. Now, whatever gives you that idea? Ryan joins us, says, good morning, brothers. Had to go back and see if there was an apology from Chris Simpson about his jet steak from last Thursday. Alas, none. No apology.
You probably ain't getting one.
But that line right there of what Dietz said last week woke Droid up just a moment ago.
Yeah, of course, the feedback zone brought to you all by Fanatics, where fans can fan.
Oh, boy. Go to snowmanmultimediasports.com/fanatics. Check out your favorite gear. Make your orders, and you can support the show that way. Fanatics, officially licensed everything. As mentioned, Dietz coming at the bottom of the hour, and I have a question of the day.
Being?
What was the first ever video game or set of games that y'all played?
NHL 94.
Oh, shut up.
Why am I not surprised?
Shut up. Victor used to wear me out with NHL 94. He used to wear me out because I would hear it while he was in the office.
Of course, mine were the originals, Mario and Sonic.
Yep. Mine, it all started with Pac-Man. I know Pong was out earlier. Space Invaders was out earlier. I didn't get to them. I got to Pac-Man first. Eventually, I got to Space Invaders. Space Invaders was addictive. I don't know why it was addictive, but it was.
Funny thing is, I really didn't do a whole lot of gaming in the arcade. I was more of a pinball guy.
Yeah, I played a lot of pinball also. I played a lot of pinball. Matter of fact, throw that question in the chat for everybody. What was the first video game you ever played? It was
Super Bowl.
Tecmo Super Bowl. There you go. Yeah. Shut up, Victor. He goes, yes, NHL 94. No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Hell no.
So Shane is a pinball king. Ryan, that is profiling, and profiling is wrong. And I swear to God, if Cole comes up with that as a freaking stick, I swear to God.
Oh yeah, pole position.
Pole position. There you go.
But in all seriousness, my first game was not NHL 94. Of course, I didn't grow up at that time.
All right,
When I was
your first
able to
one?
get my hands on an Xbox 360, the first game I loaded up was F1 2014.
There you go.
There it is. I can see that.
Actually, no, it wasn't 2014. It was 2013. That was when Sebastian Vettel was still dominating
In Red Bull.
Formula One.
When he was driving in Red Bull.
And speaking of Formula One, we've all heard the news about Danny Rick.
Yeah.
What did he do? Retire?
He said that the end for his career is imminent.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me. I mean, he hasn't had a good car in how long now? I mean, since he drove for McLaren. So, unfortunately, I think Danny's time has come.
Unless, because the rumor is Sergio Perez is out of Red Bull after this year.
That doesn't surprise me any.
What if, hear me out, Red Bull gives Danny Rick one more shot?
Do you really want to be number 2 to Max Verstappen, though?
He was already number 2 to Max Verstappen.
Verstappen took the number 1 from him. Plain and simple.
And he can do it again. He's just got to prove himself.
Red Bull. Red Bull's gonna back Max till the day Max retires.
Like I said,
That's even if Max stays.
Where's Verstappen gonna go?
He could go to Mercedes because remember, you have all of these things happening within Red Bull.
You really think Red Bull's going to let Max go to Mercedes? Come on now, let's be real.
No.
He's not going to really have much of a choice with y'all.
Hey, guys.
Yeah.
My wife got me this.
Nice.
Last Christmas.
Yeah.
I'm a tea drinker. I'm a
gave
coffee.
you my heart.
Shut up.
Man, what is up with
I gave Jody my heart 6 years ago.
Why are we even remotely trying to sing Christmas songs before Halloween?
Because I'm showing off my cup that my wife gave me.
To the Fanatics feedback zone, Ryan McCarthy said, but in this case,
play
the profile
Pac-Man.
is correct.
The profile, yeah, for Shane being the pinball king.
I swear if that turns into a stick.
What? You're going to laugh your head off. Shut up. You can't say, I swear if that turns into you're going to do what? What? Huh?
You swear the same way you swore on your Bruins?
Wait a minute. You're going to do what? Huh? Yeah, that's what I thought.
Yeah, you would. No. You adjust that cap right now, mister.
Listen, if that turns into a stick, if that turns into a thing where Shane is the pinball king, look at the screen, son. Look at the screen. Oh, what you see Shane doing, and for our radio audience, for our audio audience, what you hear Shane doing, which is laughing his head off, is what he'll be doing when Cole turns that into a thing. Not if, but when. Come on now.
Something tells me he's already got ideas. It's an evil genius.
Listen. You know Cole is evil. And I mean that in the most loving way possible. Because I met you and Cole at about the same time.
Yeah.
Okay. No, I met you before I met Cole. I met Cole when I was fully living in the port. I met you when I was living at home with my mom. After all the BS went down with my daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Man, Matter of fact, Shane was one of the first people I called when Donna was born because I was so excited. I got to tell this story. I was so excited after Donna was born. Liz told me to go home and try to straighten up the apartment. And I told the nurses that I would be back. I didn't have a car at the time, so I had to use the bus and my legs to get back to the apartment. I got in and I'm straightening everything up. Had my phone with me, so that's when I decided to call everybody. And Shane was one of my first 5 calls. Shane picked up when I called him and said, "What?" Like, it's me. Again, what? And I said, "Hi, Uncle Shane." Yeah. He hung up and I waited. He called me right back and he goes, "What did you just say?" I said, "Hi, Uncle Shane." "What the hell you mean, Uncle Shane?" I'm a proud papa." Okay. He hung up, called again, and went, "Huh?" I said, "Yes, I just welcomed a daughter yesterday." And Shane was over the moon excited. Everybody I called was so excited when Donna was born. And one of the first things Shane asked me, is she going to be a Pacer fan or a Bulls fan?
Mind you, I had to wake up first because this phone call was, I want to say around, what was it, 7 in the morning?
Yep, it was 7 because that's when I got back to the apartment.
General rule of thumb, don't wake me up before 7.
I had to in this case.
Yeah, you got away with it.
There's a few cases I had to wake you up. This was one.
Yep.
This was one of them.
Yep.
And Droid, to describe the situation for you, every time I watched a basketball game, didn't matter if it was the Pacers or the Bulls or the Warriors or college basketball, Donna would get excited. She would just I'd hold her in my arms and a basketball game would be on either on radio or on television. And Donna would just squeal in delight and have this big smile on her face.
Mm.
Oh, God, I miss that
And
girl.
Vic says in the chat, you did the same thing to him.
Victor, whatever are you talking about? Now watch this answer.
What do you mean?
Exactly.
What do you mean? What I say?
What do you mean? No. What they say? What they say? And I already know what's coming.
Oh man.
We are professionals. We just
don't act like it.
That is a shirt now. I will release it next week.
Yes.
At the top of the month, I will release the shirt that says "We are professionals. We just don't act like it." And it has the Snowman in the Morning logo on the back of the shirt.
Nice.
It has the script across the front, the letter logo. We are professionals, and on the back it has the microphone logo. We just don't act like it.
Yes.
I didn't want to use you guys' likeness without permission. You see what that got the NCAA. So I'm not going there.
Yeah, they got the NCAA putting this big old problem they have now called the NIL,
in which a quarterback quit.
A
quarterback for UNLV, I forget his name, quit over his NIL deal. Stupid. You're getting paid. You're getting paid, stupid. Why are you quitting? Why are you quitting over an NIL deal? Maybe I missed something. Anyway, Ryan McCarthy, I used to play Pac-Man, Eastern Front, and Atari Football on our Atari 1200 XL. The first game system I ever got and I know I'm dating myself when I say this. The first one I ever played was an Atari 2600. The first one I ever got was an Atari 5200.
Well, you got your answer.
Well, Victor says, wake me up, asked me if I was sitting down, and said, hi, Uncle Victor. I said, okay. Hung up 30 seconds later. I was like, wait, what? Yes, that is true. I did wake him up. And look, I just became a proud papa.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And I was calling I just became a proud papa, and I was calling everybody.
I can't say much. Look how many times I wore my phone out on June 30th.
Yes. You woke me out of a dead sleep. And I was excited for you too.
Yep.
I was so excited for you when that happened. I'm not even gonna lie. I was over the moon excited for you because you deserve it, man. I mean it. I mean it from the heart. Now I know whenever that happens to Droid, both of our phones are gonna go nuts.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, you're more likely betting on the Panthers.
Brother, you say all of this now, and trust me, I was in your shoes too. But when that when that day finally comes, trust me, ain't a feeling
Actually,
in the
no,
world
it's
like
worse.
it.
You're more likely betting on the Cubs.
Oh damn! And I hate the Cubs.
I repeat my sentiment. When that day comes, you're gonna feel a lot different, my man.
You know what's crazy?
What?
I told myself the exact same thing. I said, you know what? Everyone's right. I don't deserve a family. I don't deserve to be a father. And yet, 6 months after I turned 40, Donna shows up. Man, I'm excited to be a father now with the children I have through marriage and the grandchildren I have through marriage. My littlest grandchild tricked me.
Oh boy.
It was Thanksgiving. Some of the grandkids were here on the farm. And my littlest one, she's 2 years old, said, Grandpa, you can come sit next to me. Knowing it was a trap.
No, don't do it. It's a trap.
Knowing it was a trap. I sat next to her while the other kids were running up and down the field. She just lightly tags me, gives me a kiss, and says, "You're it, Grampy," and takes off. I'm not moving out. I'm not moving off this porch. Yet, I saw them running for a good hour. I went in the house and fell flat on my face.
Yep.
Finally, the kids left. Carmen left. Cheyenne left, and Jody and I went right to bed. It was like I want to say it was like 7 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
Jody looked at me and says, "I don't know about you, but I'm going to bed, baby. I'm right there with you."
Right.
Let's take a break. Coming up, we'll warm you up for some college football, and Chris DIETZ will join us at the bottom of the hour. This is Snowman in the Morning. We're back in the deuce.
This is Snowman in the Morning.
The original Think Drink is back. Level up with proven ingredients formulated to crush your competition. No gimmicks, no jitters, no messing around. Just high-potency results that keep you moving day or night. There's a new nerd in town, and we came to play.
SeatGeek is the ticketing app for fans like Boomstick Lady. No free throw is safe from the roar of her sticks. SeatGeek helps her find a seat in the direct eye line of the shooter so she can sit where her boomsticks make the biggest boom. Everybody okay? SeatGeek handles the tickets to sports, concerts, and more, so fans can fan.
Whether it's news, the largest egg producer finds bird flu in chickens at a Texas plant, weather, devastating tornadoes rip through the heart of the United States, inspiration, a breast cancer survivor completed the journey of chemotherapy, and now begins a future one of matrimony or sports. Michael Jordan is shown on a photo with Diddy. LeBron James has a video extolling the virtues of a Diddy party. This has been yet another beating a dead horse presentation. We got you covered. BS3 Network, in association with Comey Media Incorporated, proudly present The Morning Shift with Cole Johnson. Live every weekday at 8 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Central. Drew Willingham.
In this case, yeah, you put the blame on Kyle Shanahan for apparently not preparing the team enough for the overtime rules, supposedly.
Cole Johnson.
Peyton was considered the winner, and he was the darling of all darlings for Gerald.
With a special appearance by Tyrone Alizé McDummy.
Ain't nobody calling me. Text. Delete! 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 Delete!
Join these two football enthusiasts as they give you Total Football Talk. Live every Monday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Central on the Sertoba Media and the Comey Media YouTube channels.
Nerd Focus. Smarter than energy.
We were always hippies at heart, I guess, and that was one way that we showed it before we became full-time RVers.
Yeah, we were definitely living small and minimally.
What made us decide to go with Battleborn was everyone from their top leadership team down to their service department helped us so much the whole way through. Our relationship with Battleborn is so much more than business. And me and Dennis love to jam together. We've played together multiple times, and that's been an awesome transition. Be able to learn so much more about the business. Also, just make some awesome friends.
Mister, how do you operate this Twitter thing or this Instagram thing or whatever the heck? You're supposed to know all this stuff. Anyway, welcome back to the show.
Welcome back. College football is the name of the game here in hour 2, and I believe Dietz is ready. He is ready. So, let's do it.
Passionate.
Come after me! I'm a man! I'm 40!
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not gonna keep him off the field tonight!
Totally.
This one has a chance!
DIETZ.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Here he is. Chris Dietz joins us as he does every Thursday at the bottom of hour 2. Good morning, my man. How are you?
Good morning, guys. Quite a weekend of football.
Indeed, indeed. Where you want to start?
Well, before we get to college football, I told you on Sunday I have a rant to go on. And
all right.
I'm doing it now, and it's perfect because it deals with tonight's game.
Go for it.
And I brought props.
And you brought props? Oh, boy.
Yeah, I brought props. All I have to say is, as a Cowboys fan, I didn't even look this guy's name up, and I don't even care. If you're going to wear number 21 and play defensive back for the Dallas Cowboys,
yep,
you need to learn how to tackle. That guy needs to. Monday morning, I would have called that guy in and said, "Give me your jersey. You're not allowed to wear this number out on the field." That was atrocious. The way that guy played. And I brought this up while watching the game. And the biggest misconception in all of sports is you always hear this. Well, Deion Sanders didn't tackle.
Yes, he did.
Show me the receipt. I challenge the chat right now. Show me the play where Deion Sanders missed a tackle. It doesn't exist.
It really doesn't. It does not.
It does not
It does
exist. This number right here is sacred.
Yes, it is.
Sacred as a defensive back.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get to wear 21 if you're going to miss tackles and let guys run for 50 yards.
Right.
But the thing is, guys, people look back at Deion and they go, oh, well, he didn't have a lot of tackles. You want to know why he didn't have a lot of tackles? Because he played cornerback.
Right.
And you want to know how cornerbacks get a lot of tackles? Guys catch the ball in front of you. Deion Sanders went not weeks, months without having a ball thrown in his direction.
Yep.
That right there, he's not going to he's not going to tackle anybody if nobody catches the ball in front of him. But people say, "Oh, he didn't tackle." No, Deion was not on the. I was trying to remember. He was not on the jacked up segment because Deion weighed 160 pounds. He wasn't going to jack anybody up.
Right.
But he knew how to tackle. He knew how to grab onto your leg and not let you go anywhere.
Mm-hmm.
I implore you. I prove me wrong. Find the clip of Deion Sanders getting run over and the guy continuing to run. It doesn't exist.
It does
Deion
not
Sanders
exist.
he was a football player. He knew how to tackle.
Yeah, and here's the thing dealing with that stat-wise. In 188 career games that Deion played in, he had 296 total tackles, 270 of them by himself. Yep. Imagine how many times he's getting thrown to.
Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Like I said, there were not weeks. There were 4-week stretches where Deion didn't have a ball thrown in his direction, so he didn't have to tackle anybody.
Yeah,
you were kind of like, and when the ball did get thrown in his direction, guess what? It got knocked down, so he didn't have to tackle anybody.
Exactly.
So that's that's my I just watching this guy, whoever this guy 21 is, turn your jersey in. You're not allowed to wear it. Look, I'm being charitable right now in saying just turn your jersey in instead of don't show up. Don't just get off the team.
Right. Oh, I got you, Dietz. Kalen Carson is the current player on the Dallas Cowboys who wears number 21.
Okay, well, he needs to not wear that number because he missed a tackle on the wide receiver. Guy runs for 58 yards. They score. He misses a tackle on Derrick Henry. He runs for a 36-yard touchdown. That's unacceptable. You cannot wear number 21 and have those plays on your record. So he needs to turn that jersey in.
That's the Dietz rant for the week. And
as much as I hate Trayvon Diggs, he would have made that tackle.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or at least found a way to slow him down until somebody else comes. That's your job. Is just hold on for dear life.
I agree.
Can't let guys do that. Anyway.
I agree.
Anyway, to college football.
To college football. And what your take from last week? Your overall take from last week?
My overall take from last week is Droid, man. I gotta tell you. I gotta tell you. Let me set this scenario up. So I'm sitting there watching. I'm sitting there flipping back and forth between games. I'm watching Ohio State just absolutely destroy Marshall. So I'm like, all right, let me find something else to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So I turn on Kansas, West Virginia. Kansas scores to take a 21-17 lead. And even God was like, no, this isn't happening. Lightning struck the stadium, and they had a weather delay for an hour after Kansas took the lead.
Sure did.
What happens when they come back? West Virginia comes back to win the game. Even God was like, no, we're not dealing with this.
As soon as like the 30-minute mark hit, I was like, I'm too tired for this. I'd turn it off. Something told me that, Droid, you do not want to watch the end of this.
Wait
Why?
a minute.
Just trust me.
Even Droid gave up on Kansas?
Something about Daniels in the fourth quarter.
Right.
Yeah, I could see that.
Oh, boy. Oh,
You just
boy.
can't make it up. Kansas scores.
No,
and then
you
boom,
can't make this up.
lightning strikes, and they go on an hour delay.
This is the Tampa Bay Lightning getting back at me for winning the cup.
Probably.
You hope it is. You hope it is, Shane, because we beat your team to get that cup.
Shut up.
All right. Deeds, biggest surprise so far in college football?
The biggest surprise is really that there haven't been any surprises.
Okay.
That's really, well, I mean, the biggest, when you say surprise, you're probably meaning, who's the biggest, it's Florida State being absolutely atrocious. That's the biggest surprise, is that Florida State went from being one of the teams we were talking about, oh, they might have a shot, to do they have a shot at winning a game?
Yeah.
Can they win a game? That's the biggest one. But the other surprise, and I say this, I mean, it's not really a surprise because we watched them last year, but Louisville hanging in there right now.
That Georgia Tech Louisville game was close up to halftime, and then it just got out of hand.
It got out of hand real quick.
Why is nobody talking about the fact that Missouri barely beat Vandy?
Because this is what Missouri, I mean, this is what Missouri does. They're like 56 point, and they go to overtime to beat Vanderbilt. But this is the second overtime game for Vanderbilt this year. I mean, Vanderbilt just finds a way to get there.
They
just
won
find
the
a way
first
to get to overtime.
Yep, they won the first one, didn't they? Vanderbilt.
Yep, they beat
Virginia Tech.
Virginia Tech at home. Yep. They find a way, which would frighten the daylights out of people right now. I know it frightened the daylights out of me.
5, right?
We're in
Boise
week 5.
State, even after being a weak FCS opponent, is already in the top 25.
Does that surprise you?
No, because it's Boise State. They're the best team in the Mountain West, next to Fresno State.
Deets, your thoughts?
No, but Boise State they're only there because of they're consistent. They're consistently. I mean, once you get past 15, 16 in the rankings, it's really just a crapshoot for who you want to put. You could argue for every one of those spots after about the top 15, and I mean they haven't played anybody yet, so.
Right.
As Snowman knows, I don't even look at the rankings until after about week 4. After I've seen these teams play a couple times, you could make the argument for any team at the bottom.
You want to
start doing the rankings? You can make an argument for any team, but it's until they play somebody and have a win on their record that I can say, this was a good win, and they followed it up with another good game. Then until we get that, I don't really pay attention to the number at all.
You don't do your rankings until week 5, which is what I love about when you do your rankings, because you did them once upon a time for the show, and then my show crashed, and I had to rebuild it. Was homeless at the time, so I had to build it back up. I want you to bring your rankings back to the show. I want you to bring your
absolutely. I mean, we'll have an idea this week about where everybody sits, and Obviously everybody's been so in love with Texas. They've been so in love with Texas. Well, in Tuscaloosa, we're going to find out who the number one team is.
Yeah, because that's Georgia, Alabama this weekend. And that is Saturday night. I'll have the call of that game Saturday night. We begin our festivities at 7 p.m., of course, with the pregame show and then the kickoff at 7:30 from Tuscaloosa. This is the game of the year, is it not?
It's the first one.
First one.
That's fair. This is the situation. We're gonna see this game again. We're gonna see this game again, and this time it's gonna be in Atlanta. So
SEC championship.
Yeah,
I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised. SEC championship.
Yeah. So you're gonna get one game in Alabama. You're gonna get one game, and we're probably gonna see this game 3 times this year.
SEC championship. National championship
and in some form in the playoff.
Yeah. This is the first of a triple header. I can see it.
Yeah,
I can see it. I know this is too early, but if you had to pick your top 12 teams, and you said you wouldn't do your ranking, we wouldn't have you do your rankings until next week, but give me a general sense of who you think would be in the playoff right now if the playoffs started right now. And I know it's way too early, but want to warm the fans up for your top 25. And I'll tell you all this, when Dietz sends me his top 25 on Tuesday, I'm going to put it in graphic form and y'all will see the splash come across the screen and everything like that. So who's in your top 25 right now?
It's pretty much the SEC West minus Mississippi State and Texas A&M. Every one of those teams is going to be in there. Ole Miss is going to be in there. LSU is looking really good, despite their hiccup at the beginning of the year, but they seem to be getting it under control. So
right,
I like where they're going. We obviously got to watch out for the Hurricanes. Came out of the gate strong, but we all know with Miami, it's not how you start, it's how you finish.
Yep. It's how you finish.
So we'll take a look there. Georgia's in, even if they lose this weekend at Alabama, that's not going to hold much weight to them because A, the rest of their schedule, and B, it's Alabama.
Alabama. Yep.
Texas is dominating right now, but we'll find out more about them when they play. The big question will be how many teams will the Big Ten get?
And so far, how many do you see?
So far, I only see 2 of them. I only see 2 worthy of getting in.
And they are?
That's Ohio State and Michigan.
Yeah.
And Michigan, they lost to Texas and they got steamrolled by Texas, but they bounced back with a good win against a good USC team. But that was the big takeaway from this weekend, was that USC got a taste of what Big Ten football is. And they didn't like that taste too much.
I don't think UCLA is going to like it either. They have yet to play a Big Ten game, correct?
No, they didn't, but they got a taste of what LSU can do, and that
didn't sit well with them either.
No,
well, why did they make the jump? I know you told me this before, but I've had surgery and I've slept and I've been in hospitals since you told me this a couple years ago when you first broke the news on my show that UCLA and USC were going to make the move to the Big Ten. Remind me again from your eyes on why.
They're just following USC. That's the only reason they went to the Big Ten. That's the only reason they're in the Big Ten is, and I'm sure the conversation was, we want USC in the Big Ten, and USC was saying, well, we got to bring UCLA along so we can keep our rivalry. That was it. Because otherwise, there's no reason for UCLA to be in the Big Ten.
And what's going to happen to the Big 12? Because I heard some conversations that some Mountain West teams would join the Big 12. What's going on there?
I hope. I mean, I said this when the Pac-12 folded. I said there's only one move for the Big 12, and that's to poach the Mountain West. And the problem with that is if you're gonna take Boise State, you're gonna take Fresno State, but you gotta take some of these other teams. And
how about Nevada, Las Vegas?
UNLV is getting a better program, but as far as a conference is concerned, you got to look at other sport. I know we focus on football and we focus on the conferences for football, but to take in UNLV, like, what else are you taking in other than their basketball tradition? But what else are you taking in? Does that help any other sport? And I don't think it does. So UNLV, yeah, it's an okay grab, but it's not gonna move the meter any.
No.
Colorado State, you probably take in, and that's about it.
Colorado State. Why Colorado State? Why would they be a good fit?
You've already got Colorado, so you've got a built-in catalyst right there. But Colorado State do have a history. In the Mountain West of being a solid team. They always have a solid program.
Yeah.
They've been that way. So I wouldn't be shocked if those three would be hands down you're going to take them, but then it's finding the rest. It's finding the rest. And what you don't want a spot where like we just talked about with Vanderbilt. You don't want Vanderbilt Vanderbilt has no business being in the SEC for football.
Right.
No business.
Right.
You don't want to bring in somebody that's just going to get steamrolled every year.
Mm-hmm. But then you have years like this where Vanderbilt, at least in my eyes, is starting to figure it out. But still, it's Vanderbilt, and they're continuing, as you said, Chris, to get steamrolled in the SEC.
Yeah, they're gonna get steamrolled constantly, but we know why Vanderbilt's there. A, they're there for grades, and B, they're there for baseball. That's it.
Yep.
That's
it. And I know a few kids that played at Vanderbilt for baseball, and that's the power. That's the power sport at Vanderbilt, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Oh, they're one of the top programs, and every year they have somebody that comes out. Every year they have somebody who's projected high in the draft. You get their guys, they keep them there for 2 years, and they send them to the majors. So,
surprise pick. If you had a surprise pick in the top 25, who's that team and why?
Well, I mean, you saw my surprise pick last week. I told you Provo was trouble.
Yep.
And Kansas State went in there and
got mauled.
As one of my favorites says, F around and find out.
Yes.
And Kansas State found out the hard way.
Yep, because they got mauled. I caught the second half of that game, and they got absolutely mauled.
So
Provo's a tough place to play.
Okay, I'm happy K-State lost the same week we lost. That's the only thing to really be happy about right now. But I know come week 5, we're in trouble.
Who does Kansas have in week 5?
K-State.
Oh boy.
In Manhattan.
In Manhattan. Oh boy. Oh boy.
If this is basketball, we have this locked. But sadly, basketball is not for a while.
And that's the sunflower battle. What's a kick time for that game?
You're gonna make me look at my own misery.
Yes.
Right now it's to be determined. All of those games are to be determined.
Yeah, usually it's TBD. Yeah, it says October 26th to be determined.
Yeah, it's way too far out. The TV is gonna move that game around.
Okay.
But there's one Mountain West team that is terrible at football.
And that team is?
But they have a decent basketball team.
And that team is
The Lobos.
New Mexico.
They won the Mountain West last year in basketball. They finished last in the Mountain West last year in football.
And that's the thing. The Big 12 doesn't need any help in basketball. Basketball, they're covered.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
they've got their blue bloods. They've got their up and comings, and they've got their, I don't want to say up and coming, but like West Virginia is always in the pack.
Mm-hmm.
As far as basketball goes, obviously you've got Kansas. You've got Kansas, you've got Iowa State, you've got all of these teams. So in basketball, they're covered.
Right.
It's fine. It's finding a team that gives any oomph. Like if they were to grab, we just said UNLV. If UNLV were to jump to the Big 12, is anybody going to be talking about that tomorrow? No, they're not going to talk about it. They're not going to talk. They're not going to even. It's not going to move the meter. So,
this is a weird college football season so far. All right,
ain't that the truth?
All right, it's time for us to do some college football picks. I believe Shane has all the picks available. The spreads. Here's what's going to happen. Shane will read the game, the spread, and we will make our pick from there. So Shane, take off.
Of course, all these predictions are made to you guys courtesy of BetUS, where the games begin. Let's start down in Kansas State, hosting number 20 Oklahoma State. Kansas is favored 4.5. Over under is 55.5.
I'm going with OK State. Something stupid's going to happen in that game. I'm going with OK State.
DIETZ?
Yeah, tough game last week for Oklahoma State, but it was against Utah, so I look for OK State to bounce back. I'll take OK State.
Good.
Where is this being played?
In Kansas State.
Oh, give me Kansas State. Come on. In Manhattan. The atmosphere in Manhattan is so electric. Like when I was able to be when I was of course able to go there, it's electric. So I'm gonna take Kansas State, but I won't be surprised if OK State, comes out with the win.
I'm taking OK State. I got a feeling some shenanigans are going to be going on, and
same.
If God ain't happy when anything else is going on and causes a lightning strike, I wouldn't be surprised if anything else.
Shut up!
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised at that either. Next one.
Number 15, Louisville takes a trip to South Bend to visit number 16, Notre Dame, who is favored by 6.5 with the over-under at 45.5.
How the hell with that? Give me Louisville. I've been to and through Louisville. I've been to and through South Bend. So this is the point where Notre Dame folds like a tent. Give me Louisville.
DIETZ.
This game is too high profile. No, I'll take Notre Dame to win, but Louisville to cover.
Good.
I'm going with DIETZ here. I'll take Notre Dame to win, Louisville to cover.
I'm taking Notre Dame as well because this is in Notre Dame's house. I mean, it's that close of a matchup. If they've got Notre Dame already 6.5 up, they got a feeling something's going to be going on.
Yeah,
I've got to take Notre Dame with this one.
Yeah.
Remember what Jimmy Johnson said before the Catholics versus Convicts game. Don't leave the game in the hands of the officials in Notre Dame Stadium.
Right.
Exactly.
Catholics versus Convicts, 1988. And I have that original broadcast. Thank you, YouTube, for that. Next one.
Wisconsin takes a trip out west to visit number 13 USC, who is favored by 15.5, and the over-under set at 50.5.
USC is mad. And when I say mad, they are mad. I'm sorry, Wisconsin, but I'm taking USC, and I'm going to lay all 15 of those points. I got SC to win and to cover.
DIETZ?
I'm gonna shock. I'm gonna take Wisconsin to run the football on USC. USC has not shown me that they can stop anybody on defense. Yeah, they're great on offense, but they can't stop anybody. They can't stop the running game. What's Wisconsin gonna do? They're gonna run the football.
Yeah, they're gonna run the football. I agree with you, Dietz.
Right.
This is my upset watch of the week, easily. I'm gonna take Wisconsin.
Would that be an upset though?
Yes, because Wisconsin's unranked.
Yes, because Wisconsin's unranked.
Yeah, it's a 15-point upset.
Okay.
Yeah, and Wisconsin's unranked.
Fair enough.
I'm taking USC mainly because of the fact that it's in USC's house. Yeah, the offense is great, but Wisconsin isn't going to be able to keep up with the run and gun.
We'll see. We will see, Bob. But I wouldn't be surprised if Wisconsin went out to Southern California and won this game. Next one.
We got ourselves a bit of a barn burner for the next one. Is number 21 Oklahoma takes a trip to Auburn. Oklahoma's favored by 2.5. The over/under set at 45.5.
I shouldn't do this.
Do it.
I'm going to call for the upset. I'm going to go with Auburn. It'll be close. It'll be very, very close because Oklahoma got punched in the mouth when they played Tennessee. I think they're going to get socked in the mouth again. Give me Auburn to cover and to win.
Dietz?
There's a difference. Tennessee is a good team. Auburn is Auburn. So I'm going with Oklahoma.
Can't argue there.
Right.
The way Auburn can't play a first half to save their life. I mean, look at the first half against the Lobos.
Yes.
As a prime example, I'm taking OU every day of the week.
I got Oklahoma winning this one, but it's a dogfight.
Yeah, it's just some reason it's going to be a dogfight in Auburn. Next one.
Number 3, the Ohio State takes a trip to Michigan to face Michigan State. Oklahoma's favored by, oh dear God, let's just say a country mile.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In all actuality, it's 23.5, and the over/under is 48.5.
I'm taking Ohio State to cover and to win handily in Spartan country.
Dietz?
What'd you say the over-under was there? 48.5?
48.5. Ohio is favored by 23.5.
Ohio State wins, but take the under.
Okay.
Because Ohio State wins 47-0. That's how bad Michigan State is right now.
Oh, 47-0.
I don't even need to say much. It's like, how in the world can you even take Michigan State in this one? Like, yes, they beat Maryland, but they also lost to Boston College.
Yes.
They are 1-1 in conference play. Actually, no, that's one. They're 1-0 in conference play, but they're 2-1 outside of conference. So it makes we haven't seen enough of Michigan State in their conference play.
Mm-hmm.
You could say the same thing about Ohio State, but Ohio State's Ohio State. Come on, man.
True.
I'm taking Ohio State. Like, why are we?
Do
I have to?
I'll make it unanimous, and we can carry on.
Next one.
Arizona takes a trip to number 10 Utah. Utah's favored by 11. The over/under 48.5.
Utah's favored by how much?
11.
Again, Utah's favored by how much?
11.
You know, and I believed in Arizona once upon a time this year. Not anymore. And it's in Salt Lake City? No way. Yep. Give me Utah. I'm laying the points. Utah to cover and to win.
Dietz?
Utah, the best story this year in college football, Cam Rising at quarterback.
Yep.
I'll take Utah all day.
Droid?
Do I have to?
That says it right there, and I'll make it unanimous for Utah.
Okay, there we go. There we go.
Who in the world said I'd pick Utah?
You just did.
I'm asking, like, do I really have to pick between these two?
What, you want anarchy?
I want anarchy. Give me Arizona.
You crazy little son of a gun.
Hey, listen, I know I'm crazy. I picked the Falcons to beat the Eagles. I picked the Panthers to beat the Raiders. I know I'm crazy, but I've been right.
Well, even a blind pig finds a truffle once in a while.
Next one.
We got number 8, Oregon, taking a trip down the coast to see UCLA. Oregon's favored by, well, I'd set a country mile for Ohio. It's A1A for Oregon. Technically 24.5. Over under 55.5.
Give me the over. Lay the points. I got the Ducks. Quack quack.
Deeds.
Yeah, way too much firepower in Oregon. They're clicking on all cylinders. UCLA is UCLA right now. It's sad what's happening in Los Angeles.
Yep.
Good.
Just based on history, like, you look back at Oregon's matches against UCLA, the last 3 times they played, Oregon's 3-0, so I'm take Oregon.
Yeah, I'll make it unanimous for the Ducks, and something tells me they'll have some weird uniforms to wear and somehow still win with them.
Of course. It's Oregon. Of course.
I'm calling Oregon wearing the All Blacks.
Snowman, the game you pointed out to me, number 19, Illinois, taking a trip to number 9, Penn State, who was favored by 17.5, and the over-under sitting at 47.5.
I'll take Penn State in a close one. Remember the last time these two got together? It went many overtimes, and Illinois wound up winning. For some stupid reason, I don't call overtime, but it's going to be a weird game between these two again. I'll take Penn State, but they will not cover. Illinois will cover.
Deets?
Wasn't this the game that went to like 6 different overtime? Like
9 of them.
That went ridiculous. That was just ridiculously back and forth.
Yes.
I remember that one year. That's what happened. Look, Penn State. I still don't know why they're there. I still don't know why they're so high ranked. I watched them play once this year. I was not impressed with them. They have Singleton, who is a great running back, but outside of that, I haven't seen much from their wide receivers. I haven't seen much from their quarterback play. And this is a huge year for James Franklin. James Franklin, take out the Saquon Barkley year. What big game has Penn State won? Every big game they seem to fold, whether it's Iowa, whether it's Ohio State, Michigan. At some point, James Franklin's going to have to win one of these big games. I don't think it's going to be this weekend. I think Illinois wins it.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Good.
Give me the Nittany Lions. Move on.
I got Illinois with the upset, and we got one more game, and that's the creme de la creme game of the week for you, Snowman. Number 2, Georgia on the road. The number 4, Alabama. Georgia's favored by 2.5. The over-under set at 48.5.
Take the over. Give me the dogs. And I say they cover. And we got about 1 minute left.
Georgia is just understand that statement. Georgia is favored heading into Tuscaloosa. How many times have we said that about an Alabama game? That tells you all you need to know.
True.
But I'm sticking with Jalen Milroe. I'm sticking with Alabama. I'm going to take Alabama at home.
Good.
I will say a name. A name of a specific analyst. And that will tell you how my thought process went with this.
Being?
Pat McAfee.
You son of a bitch! I was going to go there!
Oh, boy. All right, we got to go. Deets, thanks a lot, man. Appreciate you.
Always a pleasure, guys.
Passionate,
Come after me. I'm a man. I'm 40.
Unflinching.
Let's go back to losing. Parking was easier.
Unrelenting.
They're not going to keep him off the field tonight.
Totally.
This one has a chance.
DIETZ.
That's not just a murmur, that's a full-blown fibrillation.
Have a great day. God bless. Remember to make your next move your best move. And always remember, if your dreams don't scare you, they're simply not big enough. Dream big, do bigger. We are, and we hope you all are too. See you tomorrow.